Hey everybody, Don from Well Rig, where we take a look at the most durable, practical, and high performance gear out there. And today I'm excited to be showing you the MS06 from Imalent. It produces 25,000 lumens. That is literally about 8 times brighter than a car headlights. That was me turning the flashlight on. Okay, I'm not a dancer. So I'm continuing on my series of taking a look at Imalent flashlights, and if you don't know the brand Imalent, Imalent is currently the world's leader as far as high output flashlights. They have the brightest flashlight in the world with the MS18 with over about 100,000 lumens. This is the MS06 that I'll be reviewing, but if you didn't get my other reviews, this is the MS03. And it produces, how much does it produce? 13,000 lumens. And this is the LD70, which is just a nice little pocket EDC light, and it produces, I believe, 4,000 lumens, if not right. I have the reviews there if you want to take a look. I chased a bear with this one. You should check out that one. Okay, the MS06 is in the category which most people call pop can category because they're about the size of the pop can. In fact, the MS06 is quite a bit smaller than the pop can, as you can see. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, shut up, Don, I just want to see the beam shot. Stop talking about the flashlight right now. Yes, I know. You want to see 25,000 lumens, so here we go. Leave it to me to find some creepy spots. Here's an old abandoned highway, and the trees are growing in on it. Not exactly the best place to show a floody light. As you can see, the trees are kind of too close, but nonetheless, I'll run through the light levels here for you real quick. Okay, here's some better shots. 200 lumens, 1200 lumens, 2500 lumens. 4,000 lumens can last for 2 hours, remember. Then we can get to 9,000 lumens, and then all the way up to 25,000 lumens. And this is as the naked eye sees it, which is really quite impressive, again, at 25,000 lumens here. Okay, to really understand a flashlight with this much power, you really have to put it up against something large in a large area. So I went underneath this big highway bridge and lit it up at night. So here's the first shot. As you can see, I mean, no problem lighting up the entire pier there. Okay, for the next shot, here's the bridge from the side. And just to give you a sense of scale and throw, this is a much better perspective. So here I am going through the turbo, up to turbo mode, and you can see how far the beam is throwing. And if you look carefully, I'm just going to freeze frame it right about there, and you'll see the fifth pier is actually becoming visible. So I actually went on Google Earth and measured the distances here. Each pier is about 100 meters apart, and the beam went out to the fifth, so we were getting in around 400 meters. Specs say that the flashlight can go to 500 meters, so ballpark, it didn't quite reach the sixth pier. And finally, here's a still to give you a sense of scale and just how floody this light is. Very, very impressive. A huge area is lit up. Now, if you understand Imalent, you'll know that they're really going after affordability and high performance at the same time, which means when you look at the build quality of them, they're decent. You know, you've got the cross-hatched grip and, you know, some styling cues. I think that they've really knocked it out of the park with the LD70. This little guy is a nice little, it looks like a shotgun cartridge or something, like a, I don't know, pistol silencer or something. But, you know, the MS06 and the MS03 are really going off the same styling cues. And, you know, my thought is, you know, they're not the most attractive, but for the price and the output, I think especially when it comes to the MS06, it's not the looks, it's the power. It's the grunt. This thing it doesn't have the show muscle, it's got the go muscle. Kind of like me. When I first got this light, I really wanted to love it, but I didn't. And then I did again. And I want to tell you why. How do I explain this? With the MS03, which came out not too long ago, there was a lot of complaints that came in that happened when you turned on the turbo. It would turn on for a little while, and then if you turned it off, it wouldn't work anymore. And you tried to put it back on turbo, it wouldn't work. And the reason why is because there was vaporized glue residue that was building up on the contacts just above the battery, and just where the battery meets in the head on the contact there. And the only way to correct it, thank goodness there is a way to correct it, is Imalent told me basically what you need to do is open this up, the head of it, and take like a chopstick. I kid you not. They said take a chopstick, or what, I have like a barbecue skewer, and just get in there and clean the contact of the MS03, and it did. It corrected the problem, and turbo was always working after that. Then I got the MS06, and I was so disappointed because the same thing started happening, and I thought, what is going on? At first, I thought it was like an internal UI issue. It's actually battery contact. I was like so thankful that all I had to do was just open it up and just do a little polish with the chopstick thing, and it worked. I'm not sure whether that means you have to do it once in a while or not, but I haven't used it extensively enough to know that yet. But the thing is Imalent, I don't know what you're doing. I shouldn't have to fix a flashlight when it arrives. That is not good. I'm just glad that mine works now, and if you get this flashlight, you may have that issue. How does the Imalent MS06 develop so much crazy amount of light? I mean, 25,000 lumens, that's a buttload of light. Well, inside, you have to unscrew this thing. Inside this puppy are three 21700 lithium ion rechargeable batteries. They all sit like this inside. These are really the future right now. They are high drain, and that's what makes them able to output so much power. Although with that comes a lot of heat. The other factor, of course, is the LEDs. These are XHP 70.2 second generation American Cree LEDs, and they're the same exact LEDs that are in the MS03, and I guess you can guess where they got the models from, because of course the MS03 has 3 of them, and the MS06 has 6 of them, and guess what? The MS18, which is the brightest flashlight in the world, guess how many it has? 18. So easy to figure out, right? This is the LEDs develop a massive amount of heat, and of course there's a thermal step down circuitry which protects the flashlight from overheating and melting itself. That of course restricts how long turbo can run. So I'm just going to go through the run times for the various levels. Here they are. I'll pull them up on the screen for you too and just go through them really quick. Okay, for the turbo output at 25,000 lumens, you'll notice it steps down to 4,000 lumens. You get about 70 seconds at turbo, and then because of heat, it will step down to 120 for 120 minutes at 4,000 lumens. Now I want you to note something. 4,000 lumens is the highest sustained level that you can get with the MS06, which is still actually very impressive. A lot of flashlights, I mean, the tactical flashlights out there, they can do 4,000 lumens and around there, burst, and then down to maybe 900 to 1,000 lumens. So this is good. I mean, you can run this flashlight, as you can see in the middle 2 level, for 2 hours and 18 minutes at 4,000 lumens. That, I think, is actually the key selling point of this flashlight, that you can get 4,000 lumens from this light for that amount of time. It's very hard to find a flashlight in this size that can run for that long at that level. That's actually very impressive. Okay, so quickly, the high level is 9,000 lumens, and it steps down to 4,000 lumens after 2 minutes. It can run for 130 minutes at 4,000 lumens. And of course, I just spoke about middle 2, which is 4,000 lumens for 2 hours and 8 minutes. Middle 1 is 2,500 lumens, which is still pretty insane for 4 hours. Nice. Imagine 2,500 lumens is a lot of light, and to have that for 4 hours straight, that's very impressive. Middle low is 1,200 lumens for 8 hours, and low is 200 lumens for 31 hours. 200 lumens? Most headlamps that you just get from Walmart or other places like that, they put out like 150 lumens, max 200 maybe. This thing goes for 31 hours at that level. That's very nice. Okay, beam distance 513 meters. And peak beam intensity, that's at turbo at 65,800 candela. All right, waterproof, most of them can do 2 meters submersible, but don't turn it on and off underwater. Here's the box it comes in. And I'll just open it up. It's nice. It's actually a fairly nice little gift box. In here you will find some O-rings and a lanyard and this funky little, you know, I haven't even figured it out yet. It's so stumpy or something. What the heck? How does this work? I'm confused. Okay, so this goes in here like this, obviously. It sits in an open fashion, so it can't, can it fall through? No, so the bottom sticks out of it. I see, there you go. And of course then there's this Velcro thing there and maybe a loop for hanging it off your backpack or something like that. And how do you charge this thing? Well, Imalent started doing this cool little magnetic charging port deal, and it works quite well with this. USB plug there, and you just plug it into any power source, even like a, yeah, you get it, right? This one works a whole lot better than the one on the LD70. For some reason, I just found that, and that was one of my complaints with the LD70 is that the charging port didn't quite sit straight, and you had to always kind of set it right. But this one, they sorted it out. They made it nice and strong, and it goes right where it's supposed to be. So good on you, Imalent, for sorting that out. I appreciate it. Okay, the operation of this flashlight is very simple. All right, I have it off, and all you do is press and hold, press to turn on, and press and hold to cycle up through the various settings. Now, it'll go all the way up to high, and then it'll go back down to low. It will not go to turbo by pressing and holding it. You have to double tap to do that. Okay, so I do double tap and I'll hit turbo. I'm just gonna close my eyes. Boom. Okay, and then there's another level where you can do turbo tactical strobe, and that one's pretty wild. So it goes double tap for turbo and then double tap again. Ready? And there it is. Okay, some final thoughts on the MS06 is this. First of all, when I pay $200 for a flashlight, I don't want to have issues with it. And I know that it's the turbo that causes that film to build up on the contacts, but that shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be something I should have to worry about when you get a flashlight. So Imalent needs to sort that out. Clearly it's a design thing that they're having issues with their other model as well. But that needs to be sorted. Thankfully, it's not that big of a deal, so it is correctable. You don't have to send the flashlight back. So for people that freak out when you get one, do this first, clean off the contact, especially in the head, and it worked for me. Other than that, why would you need a 25,000 lumen flashlight? Is that really practical? Well, not for close quarters, but remember this. This flashlight can maintain 4,000 lumens for 2 hours, and so that is practical. The turbo part is for large open spaces. I'm thinking of people in marine applications, you know, who are out at night and they're searching a shoreline or looking for a dock, or perhaps you're in search and rescue. Another one I think of, because I have a farming background, is people that are working on ranches and they're looking for cattle at night, or you're going out to bring the cows in for milking early in the morning at 4:30 in the morning. Hey, that was me. A flashlight like this really would have been great. I mean, I had this old 3D cell mag light, and it was like, trying to find the cattle at night, black cows, you know. This would have made all the difference. Well, thanks for hanging out with me at Well Rigged. If you're interested in some of the other flashlights I've reviewed, the LD70, 4,000 lumens, and the MS03 at 13,000 lumens, which is the brightest EDC flashlight in the world at this time, you can head, I'll just link those for you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys next time.